Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is CryptoTakeOver coming back with another video again for y'all this evening. And on today's video, Bitcoin has just been continuously moving to the downside. Is there any hope left for us in crypto, in Bitcoin? Nah, I don't even want to be like that. But hey, welcome back to the channel, y'all. I hope that y'all are having a good one. I hope that y'all are staying safe out there if y'all are trading this, or if y'all are just, in these markets. It can be a roller coaster ride sometimes. So with that being said, please like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. I make a Bitcoin video every single day on this channel. And with that being said, let's go ahead and jump on into the charts and get started. All right, we're taking a look at our 45-minute here, and I've been updating the Telegram group, the Discord group, my Patreon members, everyone, pretty much, couple of hours here and there, hour by hour, pretty much on what's happening here. So last night I told my Telegram group about this yellow X, and I said Bitcoin likes to dump it. And then later on we had this blood diamond getting put in here on a 45-minute as well. And so that was kind of interesting to see this really big sell-off here. So is there any hope left? Let's get into some of the higher time frames, and then as we start to make our way into the higher time frames, we can see exactly what's going on. So consistently getting rejected here at our VWAP. As soon as this daily closes, our pivot swing high and swing lows reset back, and then also our VWAP resets to give that playing field for the bulls and bears another go at it. So if we are trending below it, the bears are in control. If we're trending above it, the bulls are in control. So we can see right now we've been consistently getting rejected by this VWAP, indicating bears are just in huge dominance of this market right now. So we just need to be aware of that. If we get into our hourly here, we can see we had a yellow X being put in, another yellow X back here. Blood diamonds, yellow X's are no joke, yo. When they're consistently hit one after another, then we know that it's just gonna be, we're in for a ride. So hang on tight, strap in, buckle up. Here goes Bitcoin. And so look, I mean, we're still kind of dumping here. It looks like we touched all the way down to about 8,600, which is wild to think about. I mean, all these gains that had just been lost, during our run up. I don't know if this is due to Corona. I don't know what's going on, to be honest. I think a lot of the stocks are dumping right now too as well. So we're just going to keep it Bitcoin on this video today. But hey, Patreon members, if y'all want to see some altcoins, let me know. I'll be sure to do some altcoin videos for y'all as well too. My Patreon members, we killed this play. We saw our money flow going into the red here way back when we were at about 9,700, and then we had this little Bart Simpson pattern over the weekend, and we know that over the weekend the price points just really kind of BS really. So when we had this Bart Simpson pattern, then we were like, okay, here we go, guys. I hope y'all are ready. And so we were prepared for this. If y'all do want to become a private signals member, y'all can join the Patreon group. Right now the price is the same for both the Patreon member and the private signal group. Y'all can get the 2-in-1 package. I'll be splitting that package up by the end of March to where the private signals group will go up. So if y'all want, go ahead and join in. I make sure to handle everyone in there. If y'all have any questions, I always respond back really, really quickly. And so you can see here, we're just continuing to the downside. I'm not too concerned about it because, like I said, we were prepared for it, and we played it cool. We played cool about it. And so my price targets are definitely being hit right now as well too. So I'll have to keep them up to date on what else I think is going to happen later. Another yellow X here on our 2-hour being put in. Money flow is still trending into the red as well. Then our 4-hour here as well, just parabolic downtrend just happening here, and just amazing what Bitcoin can do, to be honest. It's just quite wild sometimes to see how much market does not really care about anything or anybody. It'll pump and dump on a dime, So pretty interesting, to be honest. But I hope everyone is staying safe out there, y'all. If y'all are interested, I do have a newsletter that y'all can sign up for. So feel free to get signed up for the newsletter. Most of the time, it's stuff that I've posted to my Patreons weeks before, and then I'll send it out to the newsletter as well. I do giveaways every once in a while, so be sure to, in order to qualify for the giveaway, you need to be signed up for the newsletter. So make sure y'all do that. First link in the description box below. And then the Patreon group is available for those people too, as well. If you do want to become a Patreon member, right now prices, you get the 2-in-1 package for the Patreon page and also the private signals Discord channel. That 2-in-1 package will be splitting up by the end of this month. So March 1st, I'll be splitting that package up, and it'll cost a little bit more to join the private channel Discord group as well. So my private signals costs will go up. Other than that, you can join the Discord group. There's free channels in there, and then also the Telegram group is free to join. Seeing some nice growth here in the Telegram channel. And I like to keep my Telegram members up to date as well too. So if I see anything interesting on the charts, I'll definitely feel free to let y'all know about it. But at the same time, I cater to my Patreon members firsthand, more than anything. And I'm always there for their DMs and questions if they have anything as well too, or if they want to see something on the charts. And then also, y'all, I use the TradingView Pro Plus plan. Feel free to check that out. It allows a few more indicators on the screen. If you are using Market Cipher, I would recommend the Pro Plus, so that way you can put indicators like the whales buy sell signal and the Aldo EMA, which are custom made indicators that I use. I have 2 tutorial videos in the Patreon page about how to set those up as well. Very useful. I can get all my EMAs pretty much on the screen using the Aldo EMA, and those come pretty handy just because that's how I trade, is using EMAs as well too. And so let's take a look at our 6 hour. 6 hour, just now moving into that reddish money flow here. And we're clipping pretty nice here, clipping really far to the downside. I don't think we had a big green dot here on our 4 hour either, so I was kind of waiting for this big green dot to happen here on Cipher B, but it looks like we're just continuing to dump to the downside for the most part. Our 6 hour, huge sell-off here. I mean, this is just freaking wild, y'all. So I hope everyone was safe out there. I know that we were ready. My Patreon members were ready for this. We called this way back up here at about 10K. So we were quite ready for this move to happen. We were just being patient about it. And then our 8 hour, still trickling down here on the money flow. Cipher B might put in a big green dot, but if we put in a big green dot, I feel that we're going to try and come up and probably get rejected just because our money flow is still red for the most part. RSIs are just now becoming super oversold. So that's also another consideration. Just now starting to flip into that green RSI, stochastic RSI, which is indicating this is the time to buy, right? Buy the effing dip, yo. And that is exactly where we're at right now. This is probably great accumulation time, and I'm kind of happy to see this just because it gives us a little more time, and that's all there is to it, y'all. I mean, it definitely, if you have some of those favorite altcoins that you been wanting to get, and you never had a chance to accumulate them as much, then now's the time. And in my Patreon members group, I give 2 of my favorite altcoins that I'm already in heavy accumulation of, and how one of them could possibly flip the market cap of Bitcoin within the next year or so. Just because if Bitcoin continues to do things like this, people are not going to be satisfied with it. And it's just interesting. So feel free to check out those my 2 favorite altcoins that I'm in heavy accumulation of if you become a Patreon member as well. And right now they're at a really good price, and you can start your accumulation. And then we have our 12-hour sell signal. Obviously, our money flow still maybe kind of trending to the downside. Yeah, not putting in lower lows here. So maybe waiting to see that turn red as well too. Some big green dots appear on the chart, could indicate us that we are bottoming out. But right now we are trending under most of our EMAs all the way up until our 12-hour. I think even our 8-hour, we're trending under everything. Yep, so under our 200 smooth moving average here. And then once we get into our 12-hour and then our daily. And our daily chart is something that we're going to have to discuss a little bit. But real quick, if y'all do want to just buy and hodl, I'd recommend using a Ledger Nano X or S. Right now, Ledger is giving away a free Nano S if you purchase a Ledger Nano X. And the X just allows you to access the Ledger from your iPhone or from your Android, whatever phone you have, really. And so you can use the Ledger Nano X, and then also the Ledger Nano S is just kind of one of those devices that you can just buy and store. So I have a review on all my hardware devices, cold storage devices that I own, and y'all can check that video out if y'all like. If y'all do want to leverage trade, feel free to use the Bybit link down in the description box below. That is my preferred leverage exchange that I use. I wouldn't highly recommend leverage trading if you are brand new to crypto or just trading in general. You want to make sure that you have a group that you trade with, because that helps so much, so that you have different eyes looking at different things, right, and maybe pointing things out that you aren't sure of. And so I'm a part of about 5 different paid groups. Some of them trading groups, and then some of them just other informational groups about cryptocurrency and stuff. But that's also one of the things, is that I like to curate some of the information that I get, not necessarily about the trades. And I'll take into consideration when I'm giving my signals some of the trades that other people have signaled out to as well. But really, I'm just using my charts to go off of what I think is my gut feeling on a good trade. And so I'm starting to study a little bit more Elliott wave too, so starting to follow some of those groups and some of those paid groups that I'm in, study Elliott wave too as well. And then also having the group itself is just good and life-changing, to be able to communicate with people. And that's really what I want to provide with my Patreon group too, is just the communication factor. I really want to be able to communicate with y'all, especially if y'all are trading and we are in this thing together for the most part. So feel free to use Bybit, but please sign up with the link in the description box below. And then I want you to access the testnet. So contact support, ask them how to access the testnet, and make sure that you are a profitable trader before you actually deposit your BTC on the exchange by using the testnet. If you are a USA citizen, you can use Prime XBT to leverage trade, and this allows you to trade S&P 500, different commodities, fiat exchanges, all using fiat money, all using Bitcoin itself. So that's pretty cool. So here on our one day, this is going to be quite interesting. So had a nice sell signal here, and this continuous dump that's just happening is pretty wild. So 8,700. I think we're gonna go a little bit lower, y'all. So and from what some of the bottom lower charts look like, it definitely looks like we're heading lower, and even this this money flow here on our one day is starting to curve off just a tad bit too. So the fact that we're getting support here on our 200, and then guys, like our 200-day daily moving average is being wicked through right now. So that's a good consideration to take. We'll just really have to see whether or not this 200 daily moving average holds as support. If it doesn't, well, then you can 86 that bull run for right now. Usually this 200 daily moving average, if we trend above it, that's a good indication that we are in the midst of the bull run. But I've been saying for a long time now, if you go back on my previous videos, ever since we broke out of this, I said, hey, we need to come back down and retest this 200 daily moving average, and just to make sure that we are in a bull run. And I've been saying it ever since we got up here. I'm like, hey y'all, like if we don't come back down and retest this 200 daily moving average, there's no key indication that we are in a bull run. So it looks like we finally got that retest after a few days consolidation here, and finally came down to retest the 200 daily moving average like we've been anticipating. And you can definitely just go back on the videos and say, he's been calling for this for a while. So I haven't really seen anyone else come back call a retest on this 200 daily moving average, but tell me if I'm wrong or not, but this is something that we're going to have to see if it holds support on our daily. If it doesn't, you can 86 that bull run for right now, and just know that you have more time to consolidate and more time to accumulate those favorite crypto assets for right now, because overall I am a long-term bull, but I think that price is heavily manipulated right now, and we just need to be thankful about having a little bit more time to accumulate, but also that 2020 is going to be a roller coaster ride. And I talk about that in one of my Patreon posts as well, from another source that I follow too, in their analysis on 2020. Going into our 2-day, we can see that we were rejected at that 0 pivot point, indicating that we could have some more downwards movement here. Now this was a huge clip to the upside here with no trigger waves really put in, and so I feel like we're probably going to put a trigger wave in on our money flow here on our 2-day, probably going into March for the most part. And then our 3-day, also had that sell signal. Then our 2-day has been having a sell signal for a while. So I mean, honestly, we could come back down to even maybe 8,300 possibly. That's a very good possibility for us too. It's quite interesting. I've noticed this sell signal here and how it hasn't even turned to a buy signal just yet. But then on our 3-day, finally our sell signal has gone off here on our 3-day. So we'll just have to take that into consideration. And then also some more consolidation here on our money flow as well. Nice big anchor wave cut to the downside. Our 4-day also looking like we want to turn a little bit more red right now after some consolidation. Market trying to figure out which direction it wants to go. Anchor waves cutting to the downside. And then once we get into our 5-day, I know Sin's been calling for this, and if we see a capitulation death cross happen with our 21 and our 100, that's going to be very interesting, y'all. So we just need to keep an eye on this. We can also see that our money flow is rounding here on our 5-day here, so we can't exclude that information right now. Maybe even somewhat of a trigger wave happening right now if we just continue back to the downside. We never really saw that big green dot here on our 5-day. On our 6-day, we saw the big green dot, and it looks like we finally hit a 6-day red dot as well too. And then our weekly, not a red dot just yet, but we can start to see how this might be of some worry to us right now. Now this 6-day is looking nice on money flow, but then again, no guarantees. If we come back down and we retest this 0 pivot point and we bounce back from here, that would be nice, but we could end up just going further down. I think from our 6-day up to our monthly, we're still looking pretty bullish, especially on money flow for the most part. We had this doji here, and then we had this nice little another big Darth Maul kind of wick happen here on our 6-day. And then our weekly, money flow is just not trending into that upside there as well. And that's a good indication that on our higher time frames, this dump may not last too long. And I think even on our daily that we did come back down and wick through that 200 daily moving average. It does seem to just be a wick, and that we are kind of holding support. So what we need to see is that make sure that we don't close below this 200 daily moving average, and that we see a bounce from here. But if we start to close below this 200 daily moving average, then we're going to be in some interesting territory for sure. Excuse me, I'll keep clearing my throat. Our weekly and is also okay. And so then at least, last but not least, but our monthly, I know we've been even on Heikinashi, it doesn't look as bad, but what some people have been pointing out is our just regular candles, and how we don't want to see this candle close with a shooting star. So we could honestly see that this wants to kind of play out as maybe a shooting star. If this body closes any lower than about 8,800, then this will probably be a shooting star for more or less 87. I would say if it closes below 87, I would say that this this last candle will probably be a shooting star, indicating that we probably will see some more downside too as well. So we have till the rest of this week to see how this candle closes, and I'll flip back to Heikinashi. With that being said, y'all, thanks for tuning in. Feel free to check out the Patreon, support the page. Like I said, prices will be going up by the end of this month for the paid signals group. So feel free to get the 2-in-1 package for right now. If y'all want to. Also, I use the Brave browser. Feel free to use the affiliate link to sign up for the Brave browser. It's a great way to start earning some BAT token if y'all are interested in it. Then also, CryptoTab browser is a nice way to start mining Bitcoin using the CryptoTab web browser. I use it on 2 other computers, just running in the background process. So check that out. And then also follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Feel free to message me on those platforms. Oh, y'all can see my profit log here. I forgot I posted about that. So like I said, we have been anticipating this. Unique Object, shout out to him. You know, he's one of my Patreon members, but we have been anticipating this. So I hope that y'all were ready and that y'all were anticipating it with us as well. And then with that being said, here we'll give a shout out to the Patreon members if I can find them anywhere in here. Let's see. But yeah, y'all, just be safe out there. Make sure that you're doing proper risk management and everything. Like I said, I tend to my Patreon members more than anything. If they have any questions for me, they are always the first to get my response back. So shout out to Black Wagon, BTC Punisher, Coin Chris, Greg, Haynes, Haru Ur, Ayuk Un, Jonah, Justin Bryant, Conrad N, Mr. James H. Hunter, Dogus Ogunsoy, Paul A. Keller, Pike 379, Prestige 39, Sean Stein, and Unique Object. Hey, thanks, y'all. I really appreciate the support. Look for my update in the Telegram group, in the Discord group, on the Patreon pages, and I'll talk to y'all later. CTO signing out.